on, Fancy.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. Today is the 18th of July, almost through the hot July summer, and I am tired. However, we have a good show for you today. We are going to go through a lot of, what would I call it? A lot of bullish news again. I think the narrative has switched. I mentioned it yesterday. The narrative has switched and everything is now starting to look upwards. I don't know if we're going to see under 60,000 again, certainly not in the next few months anyway. So we have the X-Files. We're going to have a look at why Bitcoin is going to help Trump win the election. Are we going to see the $5,000 ETH? We've been talking about the surge in AI tokens. This is massive, massive news. The RWA gem. I have found an absolute gem of a token. I bought it myself yesterday at 58 cents. I made a video about it. I have told people in the Telegram groups. I'm going to go through why I'm so bullish on it. And no, I am not sponsored by them. Then we're going to look at a Bloomberg apology, cats versus dogs in memes. And that is going to be it. We're going to try and do all of that in an hour. Good morning to Hidden. Good morning to Kishan. Summer is definitely quiet. We are not seeing as many people coming into chat as normal. So I hope you are all doing well. Good morning to Starboy. I hope you're well. There is a poll of the day, however. When will the end of the bull run be? The options: summer 2025 or earlier, autumn 2025 or later, and somebody appears to have stolen my keyboard and mistyped most of that question. So is it going to be after autumn? So is it going to be September, October, November, or is it going to be in the summer this time next year? What do you think? Let me know in chat. Right then, let's have a quick look at the charts then before we begin. Bitcoin coming in just under 65,000. If you were in the OG Telegram group yesterday, you would have been given a long by the Oracle himself, which the entry point was, I think, about 64.1. So hopefully many of you are doing very well based on that. Good morning, Jenny. Market cap coming in 2.37 trillion, down a touch. Volume 75 billion, also down. Bitcoin dominance, however, and ETH dominance still ticking away at just over 71%. So that's it from the main charts. Let's go and have a quick look now and see how everything else is doing. Again, I'm feeling a bit slow today. It is warm, let's put it that way. Also, don't forget, if you're new here, bottom left hand corner, 147,500 followers now, 2,500 followers away. If you are new here, it doesn't cost you anything. Just press the subscribe or the follow or the like button, whatever you have in front of you, and smash the like button. That is super important. So 24-hour gainers and losers then. Lido is up. Dog with hat, Thor, Rune, Dupe is up again. I told you when Dupe was down at 70 cents, you don't want to fade Dupe. It's now nearly back at $1. Why? There is going to be a vote very soon to burn 30% of the supply. That's going to pump the price. Solo Sky, good morning to you, sir. I think Kishan is in chat as well, if I've not mentioned him already. Beam is up a touch. Multiverse, Axie, not many gainers. Mantra's doing really well, $1.32. Incredible. Render is up a touch. Losers then. Shib is down. Mog, Brett, XRP has lost some of its gains. Remember, it went over 61 cents yesterday. Stark is down a touch. Stellar, not too many gainers or losers, but enough to cause a little bit of friction within the markets. Let's go and have a look at some X-Files. For those of you new here, X-Files are snippets of information that we have retrieved from the world of X, Elon Musk's X. Let's see where we are. This is slow today. Here we go. Come on, X. Do not let me down. Here we go. So we look at these from time to time. For those of you that don't know what they are the top developing projects on Solana, including Solana itself. The reason I include these is very simple. If a project is building and building and building, eventually those projects will be finished, they will be deployed, they will go live, they will cause hype, they will lead to bigger and better things. As you would expect on Solana, you are going to have Solana at number 1, but Jupiter at number 2. You've got Pive at number 6, Metaplex at number 9. You then have Drift, you have Mango, you have a lot of projects building in there, and they are building for the bull run. Remember, we talk about some projects are just not going to be ready for this bull run. Other projects are going to fly into this bull run fully deployed and fully ready to try and maximize the alt season, alt markets. Solo Sky, the long that Brogan was talking about was Bitcoin at 64,100. The other coin we're going to be talking about under the RWA gem, and we're going to get to that towards the end of the show. It's not financial advice, of course, but I bought that coin, and we don't really buy a lot of coins on here. We're packed, but we bought that one. So Joe Biden needs a crypto plan. Kamala Harris needs a crypto plan. The Democrats need a crypto plan. That is it in a nutshell. They do not have a crypto plan. They have left it too long. They are finished, and that's what we're going to talk about when we talk about Donald Trump in a minute. Now, again, I bring these up a couple of times a week. If you are listening to people on Twitter and on YouTube, it should never be about following what they are saying. It should be about making an informed decision based on what they are saying. This example here, I sold all my XRP when you mentioned you were about to short. I had been saving it up for 2 years. I don't know what to do anymore. I know it's my mistake, but damn, it's really unfortunate. Okay, do not buy or sell any token based on solely the opinions of somebody on YouTube or on Twitter. You don't know their motivations. Had you listened to Larry Fink, had you listened to all of the people from Goldman Sachs and Fidelity, then Bitcoin had been a Ponzi. When Bitcoin was $10,000, it was a Ponzi. When Bitcoin was $25,000, it was a Ponzi. But suddenly, when Bitcoin hit $65,000, it's a world-changing asset, the greatest store of value since gold. Come and buy your Bitcoin. That's why you don't listen to people, because the motivation behind what they are saying is not necessarily neutral. It's based on what they want you to believe, not what they believe. And again, with this, if somebody tells you to go and sell all of your XRP because it's going to crash, and they can't substantiate that with any reason why, then don't listen to them. That's the simple mistake. Because what I don't want to see anybody in chat come in and say, you know what, I was listening to X, Y, or Z the other day, and he said that Bitcoin was going to $40,000. So I shorted Bitcoin and I got liquidated. I don't want to hear that, because that's not, you never go all in on a trade anyway. You should never go all in on a trade. You should take your time. If we suggest that this coin is likely to do a 2, 3, 5, 6, 20x, do your own research on it and allocate a proportion of your budget to that token. 1%, 0.5%, whatever it might be. Don't go all in. That's how you get wrecked. So Senator Menendez officially convicted for taking bribes in gold and cash. In 2017, he said that Bitcoin is an ideal choice for criminals. There you go. It certainly isn't an ideal choice for criminals. You know why? Because it's traceable online. We watched Germany sell. We watched Mt. Gox. We've watched the Tornado Cash transactions. We know what goes on. So when they say it's a tool for criminals, just remember, nothing will ever beat cash in a bag. Next and final one then, and again, this is something to bear in mind when you look at tokens. You see Bitcoin and you always hear Bitcoin has 21 million this, it's a limited supply. There are lots of tokens that exist excuse me, that have a limited supply. This is a great example from BigPay. There are only 45 billion ADA. Now, that sounds an awful lot more than 21 million Bitcoin. However, think of it this way. If you own 2,047 ADA, that is equal to 1 Bitcoin. So there will only ever be 21 million people that can hold 2,000 ADA, 2,050 ADA, whatever it might be. The same way there can only ever be 21 million Bitcoin holders, except in Bitcoin's case, there never will be. Satoshi has 1 million, that's gone. There's probably 3 or 4 million lost Bitcoin, so that you're only ever going to have 15 million Bitcoin whole coiners. ADA has a $45 billion supply. If it went to, I don't know, $5, that would only give it a market cap of 225 billion. That's really not a lot. That's my target for ADA in this bull run, by the way, about $3 to $5. So just because there are more tokens, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're ever going to get to the same price as Bitcoin. That's never going to happen. But you can own a big chunk of the supply. So bear that in mind. Now we are going to move on. Let's have a look. I think Bullish Bull is in chat and said something. Remember, if you are here, smash the like button. Good morning. I was listening yesterday. I was just driving. That's no excuse. Absolutely no excuse. You should have pulled into a lay-by. You should have been wholly concentrating on the stream because, as you know, and everybody else knows that's listening, this is the alpha that you don't get anywhere else at 11 o'clock on a weekday morning. Mark Cuban has said that Silicon Valley's embrace of Trump revolves around crypto. It's a Bitcoin play. And there he is, Mr. Cuban himself. VCs and Silicon Valley figures have embraced Trump's attempt to retake the presidency. Their rationale to billionaire Mark Cuban, it's been driven by cryptocurrencies. It's a Bitcoin play. It makes it easier to operate a crypto business because of the inevitable and required changes at the US Securities and Exchange Commission. I actually agree with this. The crypto industry has criticized the SEC. We know about this. Under Trump, who appears to be ahead of Biden, the stage is set for inflation and uncertainty about the role of the US in geopolitics. Cuban said, "You can't align the stars any better for a Bitcoin price acceleration," he wrote. "How high can the price go? Way higher than you think. Remember, the market for Bitcoin is global and the supply has a final limit of 21 million, with unlimited fractionalization, of course." This week, it was reported that VCs Mark Andreessen and Ben Horowitz plan to donate money to support Trump's campaign. Trump's pick for the VP, we've talked about this, JD Vance, also holds, and I don't know when this was taken, but $250,000 in Bitcoin. If things go further than we can imagine today, then Bitcoin becomes exactly what the Maxis envision, a global currency. So, again, it's not just Trump, it's not just about Gary Gensler, it's about what the people with money in America want to do with Bitcoin. And when you have the Bitcoin ETFs, which have been the most successful ETFs in the history of ETFs, when you have the BlackRocks, the Fidelities, then when you have the Mark Cubans, when you have the Elon Musks, when you have the Donald Trumps all behind you, it really is the inflection point that we want. Come March, April, May next year, crypto will no longer be penalized. It will no longer be held back. We will no longer have the threat of the SEC over the likes of Ethereum and XRP. It's the end of the beginning, as I said before about the halving is the end of the beginning. It's the end of the pre-bull run. It's the start of the real bull run. That coincided with Trump coming into power is going to be majestical. So, where are we? We are under this line I told you about yesterday. $65,500 is the line we have to break. We have to come up, as I drew yesterday. We have to break 65.5. We have to have some kind of retest, and then we have to break about 70,500, 71,000, and then we are off to the target in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, which is of course the $75,000 target. When that breaks, we will move to a new target, which is likely to be, can't guarantee it, somewhere in the region of $85,000. That will be probably our end of year target for Bitcoin, and that is conservatively 20% Is it 20% up from here, or is it, yeah, about 25% up from here? That's where I think we could be going. So to the downside, again, we've got very solid support at 61-ish. I think we could come down here, have a level of support there. I don't think we're going to do that. We're going to need bearish news. The final S1s have been submitted. We're going to talk about them in a minute. We're going to get bullish news today or tomorrow. And if not, absolutely on Monday, we will have the bullish news. The one thing to bear in mind about the long that we have in place, the Oracle will need to look at the charts this morning and then make a decision on whether to get out or not at 65.2, 65.3. Remember, the charts are changing on a daily basis. Let's move on. Now, this is the next big pump on the horizon for crypto and Ethereum in particular. Where are we going to go with Ethereum? That's the question. Ethereum will hit $5,000 after the ETF's launch. The low inflation rate and substantial state supply compared favorably to Bitcoin, writes Matt Haugen. Now, I have a spanner to throw into the works of this. However, I'll give you the spanner at the end. So he suggests we could surge past $5,000, push the prices to all-time highs. By year end, I'm confident the new highs will be in. His prediction is grounded in the belief that the ETF inflows will significantly impact the price by creating new sources of demand, similar to what happened with Bitcoin. I agree. The first few weeks could be choppy as money may flow out of Grayscale, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about in a minute. The primary driver for this price surge is the interplay between supply and demand. Bitcoin ETFs have purchased 264,000 Bitcoin since January. That is compared to 129,000 produced. Again, supply and demand is not working at the minute. That is why the price of Bitcoin is going to appreciate faster and higher than we expect. The three reasons why we might have a greater impact: the inflation of Ethereum is lower. Remember, Bitcoin's inflation is 1.7%. Ethereum's is actually minus 0.1, minus 0.2%. Minus 0.1, minus 0.2%. Unlike Bitcoin miners who need to sell their mined Bitcoin to cover costs, ETH stakers are under no pressure. And finally, a lot of ETH is staked or locked. In DeFi, 28% is already staked and locked. Ethereum ETFs could attract $15 billion. That could drive the price from 3,400 to new highs. Now, there are some things that I want to talk to you about, and some of them are immediate concerns, and some of them are not. The first concern about Ethereum is that the final S1s were submitted last night. Eric Balchunas announced the news. Some of them have smaller fees, 0.1%, 0.2%, 0.25%. Grayscale has gone for 2.5%. What does that mean? It means people will be selling their Grayscale Ethereum Trust to buy a cheaper ETF. So when I said a few days ago, we're not going to have to worry about the premium and discount problem that we had with Bitcoin with Ethereum, Grayscale have now thrown another spanner in the works and said we're now going to charge 10 times the rate that everybody else is going to charge for our Ethereum ETF. That's going to put sell pressure on the price. That's the bad news. The good news on the horizon is if you have a proof of stake system with a roughly finite supply of 120 million, and you have an ETF, an Ethereum ETF, which doesn't currently allow for staking, and it doesn't. Let's say they end up buying 30% of the total supply of Ethereum. They will buy it, and it will no longer be staked. The effect on the other Ethereum is going to be dramatic. We're probably going to see an increase in the percentage paid out. So I think we're getting 3% at the minute in ETH staking rewards. That might go to 3.5%, 4%. That's one thing. The DAO system will probably have problems with it because, you know, a quarter of all the supply of Ethereum isn't allowed to vote, isn't allowed to be staked. So it's going to have an impact on that. Hester Peirce talked about that a few days ago. So there are a few spanners in the works, but don't think for 1 minute that we are not going to break 4,200. That is always going to happen. It might not happen. Now, we've got Tuesday, the 23rd of July. That's the go live date, by the way. That's how close we are. Now, what could happen is we could see this kind of movement. Okay? We're never going to go up in a straight line. It never happens. Okay? So we are likely to get to previous all-time highs, which could be 4,000, 3,900. We could get to those figures. We could get rejected. Grayscale could start pumping millions of Ethereum into the exchanges to sell. That could cause a problem. We could retrace back down towards our previous levels of support, 3,200. We could get stuck at exactly the same price we are now. And then eventually, maybe to the end of August, 2 months down the line, we should start to see a breakout. If we extend that towards maybe the end of the year, we should be sitting somewhere up here, which is my target of about $5,000. That's where we should be. Now, again, it looks a long way from home, but if you zoom out, it really isn't a long way from home, is it? If you look at where we came from, over here, we did that move. That move again would take us to $5,000. So again, these things don't happen overnight. We're not going to be at $6,000 tomorrow for Ethereum, but we are going to get to $5,000, easily $4,000, $4,500, around that figure in the next probably 3 months. And again, it's not a long-term concern. The short-term concern is Grayscale. If we see a flood, that's going to cause a problem. Now, they're like an Indian giver. They giveth with one hand and taketh with another. And what I'm going to talk about now is massively bullish. And again, it involves Grayscale. Good morning, Peter. Money will be circulated in between ETFs. It will, Kishan. But the issue with that is that the redemptions and the purchasing is in traditional fiat. Remember what we said way back when, before January, when the SEC was talking about how these ETFs were going to work. They wanted to do in-kind redemptions, and they didn't allow it. The SEC didn't allow it. So what happens is that if you have 50,000 Ethereum and you want to move it from Grayscale to BlackRock, you can't. You have to sell to create the tax event, to pay your tax on your profits, which is fair, exactly what's needed. But then it will take some days for the money to go to your bank account, and then some days for the money to go to BlackRock. I think the last time we looked at this, we said 5 working days. So on Tuesday, the price of Ethereum could absolutely tank. And then 5 days later, it could recover. Or we could tank for weeks if everybody decides to sell. That's the problem. So the sell pressure that we were saying wasn't going to be there because the Bitcoin sell pressure came from the discount. And remember, you buy $1,000 of Grayscale Bitcoin, and when they converted it, you ended up with $1,200 worth of Bitcoin, plus the price had gone up. People just took profits. You can't blame them. Ethereum didn't have that. Ethereum has been trading at 1% discount, 1% premium. That's not an issue. However, this fee that they are charging is now going to cause millions to be sold, and that's an issue. But again, it's not a long-term issue because Ethereum, as the article said, it has a lower inflation at this moment than Bitcoin. So we're going to talk about this now. Now, this is huge news. Should have sold Punk at its high, but being an investor and not a trader, madness. Don't worry, December will be hopefully okay. I absolutely, totally agree. Hold on tight, it will happen or go bust. It's certainly not going to go bust, Peter. I don't think. I think the debate, which is the question of the day, is when is the end of the bull run going to be? Some people say June, July. I am sticking to October, November. So that's the question. 64% so far have said summer, 36% have said autumn. And the question then is, how do you get out? And me and the boy Oracle have been having a conversation about that, because we might do a live stream on it. We might do a live stream on that topic, but it will be probably 7 o'clock at night. It'll be probably an evening show. So it'll be about 7.5 hours from now on a Wednesday, maybe next Wednesday, the Wednesday after. We'll do a what do we do strategy type thing. And we've got two different strategies, one for altcoins and one for Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana, which are the ETF coins. So we've got two strategies, but we will assess them at the time. Now, I remember a couple of months ago, I said to you that we were going to start to see funds being created where you will not have to buy into that asset. In fact, only last week, I think I was talking about, you wouldn't buy BP, you wouldn't buy Shell, you would buy an oil and gas fund. And I said, at some point in the near future, you're going to see crypto funds. And this isn't technically a crypto fund, but I'm bringing it up anyway because it's important to understand. If I said to you that there is an RWA token, would you go and buy it? I would. If there was an AI token, would you go and buy it? An AI fund, would you go and buy it? I would. So look at these new types of products. Now, Peter, that RWA gem, which we're getting to next, I did a review video on that last night and it absolutely blew my socks off. And I'm not sponsored by them. I haven't been paid by them. This is not a shillfluencer style review. I'm telling you because I found it. And I'm putting it in the show because I want the people that don't see the video to go and check it out. So we're going to look at that in a minute. But anyway, the point of the matter is, I've been saying this for years. I want to be able to go and buy a coffee token, a sugar token, an oil token, a copper token. That's what I want to go and do. I don't want to mess around understanding the market. I know copper over time is going to go up. I know that cocoa beans this year are going to spike because of the poor yield. So I want to go and buy cocoa. These types of funds being created by Grayscale are a temporary stopgap solution. They're not on chain, but they are available for you to buy. Now, look at what they have put into their AI fund. Okay, BitTensor, Near Protocol, Render, LivePeer, and a few others. Does it have the holdings down here? Here we go. So Near, File, Render, LivePeer, and BitTensor. I wouldn't have picked those exact tokens, but it doesn't matter, does it? That is a great that's a great starter fund for somebody coming to AI. Okay, there are glaring omissions. ASI token is not in there simply because ASI is still going through its token swap. So that's not going to be in there, but it will be eventually. There's other tokens that should probably be in there that are not in there. And I think over time it will grow and it will expand. But the point of the matter is, if you've got friends and family with a lot of money who don't know what to do, don't want to get into crypto, and don't really understand, exchanges, don't understand wallets, all those kind of things, this is a great company to tell them about. Grayscale. Again, I've got no interest in this. I'm just telling you because it's the way it is. Grayscale have got multiple funds for different projects. They've got funds that contain Solana, Ethereum. They've got funds that contain Cardano. And this is a way of you tapping into these projects. Now, what has happened is it's absolutely ripped the price of a lot of tokens that are in it, as it should be, because this is going to be buying pressure. And as you can see, similar to a lot of other tokens, NEAR had a nice recovery back above $6. However, as we keep showing you on our charts, which you can go back and have a look at from when we drew them way back when, and somebody was saying yesterday about Aero. Aero, yes, is up, but look at it, zoom out and look at it. We have had a pump from the bottom of this channel, and we've gone straight to the top of this channel. We haven't broken it yet. We are still under the top of the bull market support band, which is coming in, if I move that up a bit, at $6.40. So we're not out of the woods yet. We're sitting at the top of the channel. Now, what we want to see, clearly, same as Bitcoin, I sound like a parrot, we want to see this, okay? What we don't want to see is rejection here, and then guess what? We're going to come straight back down towards $4.50, $4.60. So you've got to be careful. Where do you buy NEAR? I was telling you to buy, well, I wasn't telling you to buy. I was saying a good price for NEAR was under $5.20. I was buying NEAR at $5.20, $4.80, and $5.80. So I've not been buying it at the lowest of the lows because, again, I don't have a crystal ball. The point of the matter is, am I happy to pay $6 for a token that I believe is going to go to $40 or $50? Yes, I am. So it doesn't matter whether I'm paying $5.20, $5.40, $5.80, it doesn't matter. You know, if we do even go back up towards the range highs here, I mean, these previous highs, I'm not going to be selling at $8. But again, if you want a quick potential win, AI has been out of the public narrative now for a couple of months. It could be due for a pump. NEAR could announce a deal with Nvidia tomorrow and the price would go to $10. It's one of those things. They are good plays, but you've got to pick the good plays and the sensible plays for this bull run. Swarm, yes, well, that's what we're going to talk about next. Now, the reason, and we're going to do the DEX tools look at Swarm. We're not going to do the chart of Swarm. Now, this is every once in a while we will throw in a project to review, and this token is available on the majority of exchanges. It's not on all of the exchanges. So depending on where you are, you will probably be able to buy it, but you won't necessarily buy it on all exchanges. Power AI, I looked at that and I wasn't so keen. I don't even think I made a video about it. I'm not sure. I think I've looked at it recently. Somebody brought it up in chat. In fact, quite a few people brought it up in chat. And I think at the time I said I wasn't keen on it. Right, so what is Swarm? Very briefly, because again, I'm not being paid to do this. I'm just showing you something I found. 3 things that make this a good product. Number 1, you can buy stocks, synthesized, digitized, tokenized version of stocks, whatever you want to call it. You can get bonds. You can get treasury bonds paying 4.5%, 5%. And for those of you out there a bit longer in the tooth, you can get tokenized gold. So we like Ondo. Ondo is a $1 billion project. Ondo does a very limited amount of things at the minute, but it's got BlackRock with it. Swarm isn't in bed with a BlackRock. I think the market cap is about $45 million. The platform, again, is really simple to use. Again, I don't want to go into too much depth because I don't want to sound like I'm doing an infomercial, because I said I'm not getting paid to do this. The key here is when you go down to what they're going to be offering. Real estate, stocks, cryptocurrencies, stable coins, commodities, art and collectibles. They're going to do a bit of everything. Now, they are partnered with who I would expect people to be partnered with, if that makes sense. And that is Gnosis, Chainlink, Copper, which is like a security company, MoonPay, which is on and off ramp, so you can deposit money with your credit card, and of course Polygon, because this sits on Ethereum and it sits on Polygon. And of course, as I said yesterday, you don't want to be processing through Ethereum, it's too expensive. So it's got everything. It's got stocks, it's got bonds, and it's got gold. But it also has a token. And that's what I'm going to bring up because, like I said, not shilling this, don't care. I'm just showing you a project that excited me yesterday. And a lot of people out there like it when we look at tokens, so I am doing. Is Swarm going to 10x this bull run? Absolutely. I've got no doubt. RWA for me is going to be the narrative of this bull run. It's not gaming. What does gaming do? Nothing. Hasn't done anything for ages. Metaverse, that was 2021, hasn't done anything. So it's not gaming for me. It's not the metaverse. What else is there? Deepin, or Deepin already exists. We've already had Deepin for the last 30, 40 years. So what's left? AI. Is it too soon for AI in this bull run? What else is there? ETFs. Okay, that's a narrative. Or is it RWAs, real world assets? I think we've got a year and a half. I think real world assets are going to take off. Now, I'm going to show you a tweet that they've put up in a minute. But what I use, again, this is more of a tutorial than anything. I get a token, let's say this one, which is Swarm. I come to Dex Tools. Why? Because Dex Tools lets me look at the fundamentals of the project. On the left-hand side, total supply of tokens, 241 million. Circulating supply, 74. Guess what? They're going to burn a third of the supply. So suddenly, you are going to have 160 million tokens. That's it. Market cap is $47 million. It's nothing. Okay? Holders, just under 10,000, a decent number. Liquidity, 1.5 million. That's decent. What's liquidity? If you hold $100,000 of this token and you go to sell it, you want as much liquidity in the market to absorb that sale as possible. So if that liquidity was $200,000 or $300,000 and you went to sell $100,000 of the token, it would absolutely tank the market. If you sold it with $1.5 million, you're likely to bring the price down by 5%. So liquidity is important. The next thing you look at down here is you look at the Dex T-score 99, and then you look at the audits. That's it. That's what you do to look at the project. We could go and look at bubble maps, but we're not going to because this isn't a sponsored review. However, the two things to bear in mind are, we'll get rid of that now. Swarm is like, no, Relio would be a product offered on Swarm. Swarm is like an exchange based on the blockchain that allows you to trade in tokenized real assets or digital assets. So it's a bit of everything. It's stocks, shares, bonds, gold, NFTs, you name it, cryptos. So the thing I want to show you is this. So there is a vote that was announced yesterday. The voting will close on the 24th of July next week, and they will vote to burn a third of all their tokens. Now again, I was very lucky finding this. I saw it on a comment of a comment and thought, that sounds interesting, I'll go and have a look. Now if that burn goes ahead, I'd expect the token to be at $1.50, $1.20 within a few weeks of that happening. That's their local high, $1.20. And We're probably going to sell. We didn't buy a lot. You know, we don't buy a lot of these tokens. These aren't core crypto warehouse tokens. These are just a bit of fun that we play with when we see an opportunity. It's an opportunity. So you get in, maybe you wait for it to go north of $1, $1.50, you get out, then you put that money into something more serious like Ondo or like Bitcoin, Solana, whatever it might be. However, the point of the matter is, this was a sheer stroke of luck to find Swarm. I think it's a solid project. I've actually gone, in the video, I went and looked at the team behind it. They're based in Germany. They've got plenty of experience from Silicon Valley. They've got all the right backers. It looks good for me. Right then. Let's move on then. Bloomberg apologizes for CZ's Ponzi scheme title. There he is, Mr. CZ himself. He should be out soon, I believe, if not now. In the 250th issue from July the 6th, 2022, Bloomberg Businessweek ran a cover story with the headline, CZ's Ponzi scheme, which was totally false and without any basis. This was a huge blunder that hurt CZ and the organisation. It triggered a FUD that caused BNB to tumble. Bloomberg has now come forward to own up to the mistake. It's not a mistake. We were wrong to write CZ's Ponzi scheme. We retract and withdraw this offending statement. We have journalistic standards that should and will be better. No, they haven't. To that end, we will not publish or make any allegations to the same or similar effect in any manner whatsoever. We are pleased to see that the wrongful accusations have been retracted. This is... we will continue to focus on providing the best service. Now, again, the issue that I have with these articles is that apologising is too late. There's a saying in England, which is today's headlines are tomorrow's fish and chip wrappers. So in England, when you go to get fish and chips, they wrap it in newspaper. They don't do it anymore, but they used to. So you'd wrap it in a newspaper, and you'd be able to read yesterday's news while you're having your fish and chips. Anyway, long story. But the point of the matter is, that's not how it works. It does for individuals, but not anymore. We're in a digital age, things stick. And the problem with this is an apology is simply not sufficient. Now, again, live and let live. Everybody makes mistakes. I get that. And individuals is different. In the heat of a moment, a celebrity could do something wrong. You know, the Spanish players chanting Gibraltar Español, they were having a party. Somebody passed around some microphones. They started chanting songs, okay? No big deal. Everybody's got the knickers in the twist about it. However, in this instance, they have purposely and intentionally published an article, not slandering, libeling CZ as running a Ponzi scheme. Now, it is wrong. It didn't just appear on the website. It appeared in their publication. So it went through editorial review to get to that stage. So there are multiple people in Bloomberg that wrote that. Now, if you believe anything I say, there are people above Bloomberg who pay Bloomberg for advertising space. And I'm not going to name names, but you know who they are. Large institutions pay Bloomberg to advertise. It doesn't take more than a coffee in a coffee shop for somebody to say, we'd like you to do an editorial on our company. We'll give you $1 million to do that advertorial. But to do that advertorial, we'd also like you to do a hit piece on one of the people we want to get rid of. Those things happen. Look at Sam Bankman-Fried and what he did. He gave the owner of a crypto publication $1.2 or $2.1 million to write hit pieces about CZ. It's in black and white. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's in black and white. It was presented to the courts. It's there. If you believe that Bloomberg did this off their own bat, then I'm sorry, you need to go and understand a little bit more how this kind of stuff works. Because they went after CZ with every publication, and they made him out to be the #1 criminal, when the #1 criminal happened to be sitting in Bermuda doing all kinds of things, unregulated, and obviously now he has gone and spent some time in American prisons. The point of the matter is, this should never have gone live. This should never have gone live, and Bloomberg should hang their head in shame. And if you wonder why I'm so negative towards the press, it's because of what they write. They don't care. In the UK, if you want to win an election in the UK, you need the tabloids on side. You need to bribe them to be on their side, for them to be on your side. And then you'll win the election. Tony Blair won the election with the tabloids. Margaret Thatcher won the election with the tabloids. Okay? Keir Starmer won the election, partly because the Conservatives were rubbish, but that he had the papers on side. The papers dictate the politics normally in the country you are in. So when Bloomberg apologise for making a mistake, number one, it wasn't a mistake. And number two, an apology simply isn't good enough. And I've highlighted this because it's one of a numerous number of articles that get published that are just clear lies. I did an article with you 2 or 3 months ago about zombie chains, and they put Cardano in the list of zombie chains. Who wrote the article? What background do you have on crypto to make that assumption? Phantom is a zombie chain. There's no transactions on it. Okay? Cardano is not a zombie chain. It has transactions, it has volume, it has TVL, it's still building, it's got a hard fork coming up. Again, it's a hit piece. Why? Because they're going after Charles Hoskinson. It's clear as day. They throw people in. It's like saying, name the 4 worst criminals in crypto, and then you'll see Sam Bankman-Fried mentioned. Alex Mashinsky will get mentioned. Maybe Do Kwon will get mentioned. And then they will throw somebody in that they don't like. Charles Hoskinson. CZ will get thrown in because you're guilty by association, according to these articles. That's why you don't believe everything you read in the press. Now then, cats and dogs, frogs, meme coins, the meta is shifting. Wow. Again, I can't avoid meme coins. It would do everybody an injustice. But apparently, the meta is shifting. And that is moving from dogs to cats, apparently. We're actually talking to a cat meme about doing some giveaways. And if that comes off, then great, we will start to support cats. But for the record, I am a dog person. I am not a cat person. And there is a beautiful cat with sunglasses on. Every dog has its day, but now it's the cat's time to shine. Over the past 7 days, cat-themed tokens are the biggest gainers amongst the major crypto categories, climbing 40% during the span. Cat-themed coins have outperformed dog and frog coins, as well as more serious categories like L1 blockchains and DeFi protocols. Leading the charge is Keyboard Cat. I made a video about Keyboard Cat. Michi, I haven't covered. Kai, I haven't covered. Popcat, I didn't want to cover. Mog is a good one. Shark Cat, I've never heard of. Popcat has been a big riser. Again, I don't want to do 3 meme coin videos a week on the channel because I don't want to become a meme channel. Yesterday, I made a rant about Jupiter, who've yet again screwed over their the ASRs, the active staking reward dupe holders. They screwed them over again. We're not going to get our tokens till October. I've made a video about that. And I made the video about Swarm, which is a sensible, good-looking micro-cap project. So I don't want to be tarred with the meme brush, if you like. So there are tokens that I'm going to miss, Popcat being one of them. I was going to make the video. I decided against it. 2021 dogs, 2024 cats balance. I don't think so. The cat coin frenzy has gotten so big that degen traders are starting to bet via Polymarket on which cat will be the first to 1 billion. Again, this is the big thing. There hasn't been a $1 billion cat. Mew, I think, got to 800 million. I think, what other cats did we cover? Maneki, again, really good coin, really good team behind it. Don't think that got to 1 billion. Popcat is likely to do it. So Shark Cat, again, what do I know about Shark Cat? There's another beautiful cat. The meme coin market has performed well this week, rising 19.2%. Other big winners include Landwolf, never heard of it. Zincoin, never heard of it. Andy, never heard of it. Never heard of some of these coins. Again, can't keep up with everything. Doge is up 10%. Shiba is up 13%. Bonk is up just 2.4%. So just to kind of put this into context, let's have a quick peek at our meme brethrens and see where we are. So you have dog, frog, dog, you know what I mean, dog. I don't even know what Brett is. Clearly a dog. And then we have Mog, $735 million. So it is the highest, but it's still short of hitting that crucial $1 billion mark. You've got more dogs down here. Mew is up there at 334 million. Popcat. Why is this not in any order? Should this not be in market cap order? There we go. Try that again. So Popcat 810, Mog 730. I wish coin market cap just need to learn to count. It's not a difficult thing to do. But yeah, there's those two there. Again, what would I keep an eye on? I'm still keeping an eye on MAGA. I still think that's going to do incredibly well as we got towards the end of the bull run. Remember, there's only 2.7 million tokens in supply, so it is likely to get up towards $20. So certainly look at MAGA. My buy price, actually, I'm not going to click on that because it hangs the stream. My buy price for MAGA, I believe, is $5 to $6, not any higher. I just look at these rubbish meme coins and laugh. It looks like a joke. They are a joke. That's the thing, Peter, is that it's all psychology. When you look at Mog coin, you could buy, I don't know what it works out as, for $5. How much would you be able to buy of Mog? I mean, you'd be able to buy millions of the coins, and they're all the same. You know, you can go down, you can find coins that have got, I mean, look at the supply. What's that? 360 trillion? I mean, it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But they do it because they know the psychology works, and that psychology is simple. If you go to buy $1 of Bitcoin, you get 0.0000001 Bitcoin. If you go to buy $1 of Mog, you will get whatever it works out as, 300,000 or whatever it might be, 230,000 Mog. So people will buy Mog simply because they'll own it, and they can say to their friends, I've just bought 1 billion Mog, or I've just bought 5 million Bonk. And that's the psychology of it. Will monkey coins like Ponk take over cats and dogs? I don't think it really has any say, if I'm honest. I mean, maybe psychologically you've got dogs. People like dogs more than people like cats. So you've got that side of it. Ponk, I think Ponk has done reasonably well. I mean, Ponk is sitting here at 252 million. I mean, it's going to have a run at $1, I imagine, at some point. Again, when you're looking at the bull run, you know, of all these coins on your screen now, 6 of them won't move. 3 of them will do well, maybe do another 3 or 4x from here, and 1 of them could very well do a 10x. Not every coin is equal, and not every coin is going to massively outperform in the bull run. And that's the thing that people don't understand. And that's why we talk about diversification. So if your favorite meme coin is Bonk and you've got $1,000 to spend on meme coins, by all means, put $300 into Bonk. But then with your $700, maybe consider buying some Floki, some Brett, some Book of Meme, some Mew, even Punk. You know, maybe have 6 meme coins in your meme bag. You know, and because you don't know, it's like you can't bet on one horse in one race and expect to win. You can't, you know, you can't go in to a casino and put all your money on one number and expect it to come in. You need to have a diversified portfolio. We talk about this. I think the narrative is going to be real world assets. I could be wrong. It could be AI. It's touch and go. It could be deep in. It could be shock horror. It could be projects that make a profit. I think Punk only has 555 million coins, max circulation. Yeah. What will happen for Bitcoin to go above 500,000 this cycle? For Bitcoin to hit $500,000 this cycle, we're going to need the total market cap to go to 20 trillion. My target is 10 trillion. So I think we'll go to 10 trillion. At 10 trillion, that will give Bitcoin roughly $250,000, $240,000. Cleverer people than me have said Bitcoin is going to go to $130,000, $140,000. If I go off diminishing returns, we'll go to $110,000. But again, diminishing returns doesn't work when you introduce an ETF. It breaks it. So, what do we have to do to get to $500,000? Trump in power, Hester Peirce, head of the SEC, interest rates back at 1 or 2%, inflation under control, conflict ending around the world and no more conflict around the world, no more pandemics, no more black swans, Donald Trump to come out and say that Bitcoin is going to be held as a reserve currency of America, Donald Trump to come out and say that he wants all Bitcoin miners to be in America, the BRICS nations to say that they're going to trade oil in Bitcoin. I think if every single one of those things happen, then maybe we can get to $500,000. But I think we've got a 1.1% chance of that happening. I think we've got a 30 to 40% chance of $250,000 to $300,000, and I think we've got a 90% chance of getting to $125,000. But again, Plan B has predicted $480,000, and he spent years on this, and I haven't. So Plan B could very well be right. Did you hear Punk is going to get into DeFi? Also, I was reading. Well, it could very well do. It could very well do. I think the key for meme coins is to create utility. So we covered, what was that coin I covered the other day? Is it Shiba Shootout? Okay, right. I'm giving you an example. I'm not promoting this coin. I'm not telling you to buy this coin. I'm giving you an example of the next evolution of meme coins. And these types of coins are where it is going. So we've now seen layer 2s being built that allow you to create your own Telegram game. Okay? You are seeing staking becoming available. You are seeing trading bots becoming available. So you're seeing meme coins evolve from a one-page document to something like this, which has a staking solution. Obviously, no, go away. We've got a staking solution. We have a game involved. We have a mini metaverse. We have characters. You can play it on your phone. I mean, it's got everything. Now, again, I'm not telling you to buy this. What I'm saying is, this is an example of the evolution of meme coins. So, Punk, for example, will get its own staking platform. Punk will get its own, maybe it will have an integration with Jupiter. So if you go and look at Bonk, for example, Bonk is a good example. Now, Bonk, isolated. Year and a half ago, it was garbage. Absolute garbage. Not anymore. Okay? They have 131 applications attached to it. It is multi-chain. It is on 11 chains. It is listed on all the major exchanges. It has a trading bot. You can swap. You have bonk rewards. You have the scooper thing, which converts all of your shrapnel into bonk. You can buy it on the platform. You can go to the decentralized exchanges. It's got every single thing you need on bonk. This took from January 2023 until probably May 2024. So what's that? Let's call it 18 months. 18 months to fully flesh out bonk. So if you're looking at a meme coin like Ponke, for example, it should have a roadmap by now. Look at the roadmap. Does that look as if it's going to be, in your opinion, a success? If so, great, stick with it. But these types of projects are going to be the future of meme coins. We are now past the one-pagers. We are now past it all. Look at Mother and look at Daddy. Daddy is run by Andrew Tate. He's building a roadmap for it. Iggy Azalea has handed over the tokens to a third party, but she's still actively involved in Mother. And yes, she knows her stuff. Okay? Andrew Tate, he knows his stuff. Those two coins, not financial advice, should do relatively well because they have B-list celebrities, would you call them, behind the projects. You look at other coins that get launched. What substantiates the price of your meme coin? Because it has to be hype. If it has to be hype, then it has to have a celebrity or it has to catch the imagination. If it's solid foundations where it generates revenue like bonk, then it will turn a profit. And if it turns a profit, it has longevity. So you either go down the hype route, then choose wisely, or it goes like down the sustainability route, like bonk. Again, choose wisely. Go and look at the roadmap of Brett and all of these other coins we've looked at. What are they doing? Are they going to do anything? If not, the hype will fade and that coin will go to zero. That's what you have to look at. It's all great buying a coin now that's up 500%. Number one, you should be taking profits. And number two, where does it go next? Where is this coin going to evolve next? If, as Peter just said, that Punk is going to move into DeFi, fantastic. But look at Floki, for example. Floki, which I covered again, probably covered Floki again 18 months ago. What does Floki have going for it? It has Valhalla, which is a metaverse. It has a tokenization platform. It has staking. It has decentralized finance, NFTs, prepaid cards, a marketplace, education platform, trading bot. It's got its own naming service, .floki. Okay? Again, I like this project. I don't own any of it. I don't own any of the other coins we've mentioned. I've got a little bit of bonk. That's it. So the point of the matter is, this was a meme coin like everything else. Now it isn't. Now it's a serious project because it's gone from a meme to a brand. That's the key. With the price of the token, again, that doesn't matter if there is utility. And that might sound crazy, but if you've got a project which you've got BonkBot, BonkBot doesn't really use bonk. It just derives revenue from traders. What does it do with that revenue? It pays it out in bonk rewards and it burns the supply. So the supply is being burnt over time. Shiba's supply is being burnt over time. Floki, it's supposed to be a high circulating supply so people can get in. But again, you have to differentiate something like Floki or Bonk from something like Mog or any of these coins that don't do anything at the minute. They're not all created the same. Anyway, it is 12:07. It is time for me to go. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Remember, tonight it is Thursday, which means the Oracle is back at 9 p.m. The Oracle is back in 9 hours from now. If you are an OG member, go and ask in Telegram for the coins you want him to look at. If you are in the other group, go and ask for the coins you want him to look at. He does this for you. He reviews the coins you want. If you don't ask him for coins, you are missing out. Okay? Now, if you're not going to be able to make the stream, so let's say 9 p.m. is probably 4 in the morning for Peter. He's in Australia, and I think Packer is also in New Zealand. They're not in the same time zone. He'll still review the coin so you can watch it on catch-up. So don't worry about not being able to make it live. Just ask in chat. Don't Bonk and Flocky have zillions of coins in circulation? He's on at 9 p.m. So 9 hours from now. 9 hours from now. So it's 12 o'clock on the clock there on the screen. It will be 9 p.m. So 9 hours from now. They haven't got zillions of coins. No, they have a few coins in circulation. I actually don't know how many coins they've got in circulation. I'm sure it will tell me if we go back to CoinMarketCap. I'll have a look very quickly. But again, it doesn't matter. The circulating supply doesn't matter in some instances. It massively applies in other instances. So Bonk has a supply of 68 trillion. Yeah. And Floki has a supply of 9.5 trillion. But again, they're burning them over time. It doesn't matter so much. Anyway, got to go. It's nearly 10 past 12. Got to go and make a video now. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Peter, Gianni. Oh, Gianni's made a comment. Shiba Shoot is on ETH. Major mistake for adoption. Exactly. It is a major mistake. You can get it on BNB as well. Now, I'm going to put a video up about pre-sales. And I might do it off air, if you know what I mean. So I might make a video on that and explain to you some problems with pre-sales. I don't like pre-sales, but if I find a pre-sale that's got a free giveaway, then I will review it. That had a free giveaway, I reviewed it. But there's other instances where pre-sales, especially on Solana, they are scams. So if you come across somebody and it's just a tweet, and that tweet says, there is a pre-sale, send one sol to this address, don't touch them. Got to be careful. Anyway, I will go. And we have planned our review, our exit video review. We have got to do that, but we'll get around to it. At the minute, it's summer. It's like 34 degrees, which I know isn't hot for a lot of people. It's hot for me. I've got no energy at the minute, but I'll try and do my best. Anyway, take care, everyone. See you in the morning, and don't forget, 9 o'clock tonight, 9 hours. The Oracle is back. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye bye.